Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Stay Connected webinar. I'm Kim Larson. I work with Nebraska's 21st Century Community Learning Center program, and I represent our Get Connected Conference Planning Committee. So it's my pleasure to welcome you and welcome Jeff Cole and thank him for presenting today about the upcoming Innovation Invitational that will be held in March in Lincoln. So Jeff, I'll just let you take it away.
Great. Thanks a lot, Kim, and good to see everyone here today. I will just start off very quickly. We want you. It's an old Uncle Sam adage, but we want to see you on March 5th and 6th at the second ELO Innovation Invitational that we'll be hosting. And this, like last year, will be held here in Lincoln at the Innovation Campus at UNL, the old state fairgrounds, for those of us who've been around a while. But great facility there, and we will be, hosting folks for and I should say this at the beginning, free event. So this will be completely free and really an opportunity for all of you to have some interaction with your peers and other after-school advocates and champions from across the state. We will set the table for you and feed you well. But we know that the value of these meetings is meeting other people across the state who are doing similar work and being able to share insights that all of you are dealing with as we try to build the absolutely best after-school and summer learning system possible in Nebraska. So that's our goal. We aren't happening in a vacuum. So this conference will be building on the conversations that got started last year when we hosted this for the first time. And the themes that we worked with at the first conference, really thinking about innovative programming that excites young people, is going to be something that we continue this year. We also had major emphasis last time on how after school can help young people identify their passions and help develop hope in a really challenging time for young people today. The survey research and all the conversations and all the interactions you guys have with young people every day, really brings to, I think, brings to the fore how important this work is and how much we need to be spending more time helping young people develop hope. And that's what we can do with after-school programs. So we'll be looking for those opportunities to explore and build on some of those themes we talked about last time. We'll also be building on the great work that was started at last year's Get Connected and the power of play and the possibility that we have through after-school and summer programs to give kids the structured play opportunities that they need so that they can learn the important social skills and life skills that oftentimes go missing during the school day. So we'll be picking up on those themes, but we'll also be introducing some new concepts. So for the second year, we'll be kind of focusing the first day around youth voice and youth engagement. So we'll be releasing a survey that we did using kind of an innovative youth brainstorming sheet about the kinds of things that young people want to see in their communities after school and summer programs. So we'll be releasing that alongside releasing a new video showing what happens when you empower and provide support to young people to act as leaders in their communities after school programs. So a couple of programs, see Joel on here. Creek gets a nice call out and some time on the video, as does Broken Bow. So got some good examples of programs that are utilizing young people as staff. And I know many other programs are too. That was just the initial focus of this video. So that'll be released, and we'll have some panel discussions featuring young people whose career or whose growth started in after-school programs, but have now made a career in youth development and education. So now the video will be, we're going to do a world premiere. So we want a reveal moment at the conference. They've got a great kind of amphitheater at the conference that we'll be utilizing for this event. That will take place in an evening. So the structure of this event, and I'll share the conference website later. I don't know if Janet, that's up in, or Kim, if that's up in the chat still. I put it up there earlier. I'll put it again. We'll follow pretty closely to what we did last year. You know, if it's not broke, we don't feel like the need to fix it. So we got good response to last year's event. So we'll be kind of following that same pattern and be ending the first day's afternoon session around 3 o'clock and giving people a few hours break before reconvening you for an event that'll really be youth-led. And it'll be at that point in the evening that we release the new video. So super excited about that. Also very excited, Dr. Brian Marr, the Commissioner of Education in the state of Nebraska, has agreed to make some opening remarks for us during the lunch session on that first day, March the 5th. So you don't want to miss that. We're going to have him do some comments, and then he'll do a question and answer kind of related to his vision of the role of after school to help meet important youth development and education needs moving forward. So full day on day one, as said, ending with the youth presentation in the auditorium. There may be a few of us who go over to, I think it's called the Owl something over at the Scarlet, which is across the street. I hear they have adult beverages over there, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. So there may be some people over there afterwards. The next day, we'll start bright and early with some quick hits on resources that are available, both financial and programmatic, to programs across the state. And then another kind of mix of 30-minute and 60-minute workshops. And then culminating with an opportunity for a lot of our partners from across the state to visit the state capitol and see what we're going to be doing an ELO Awareness Week activity. So there'll be lots of materials about after school set up in the Capitol Rotunda, and we'll facilitate meetings with state legislators so that they can be aware of the great work that's going on in communities across the state. So that's kind of the macro vision. You know, there is also going to be a focus on full service community schools. We're once again really fortunate to have Dr. Tony Smith, former Commissioner of Education in Illinois, as well as the Superintendent of Schools in Oakland, California, when it was the nation's largest full service community school district. And Tony is a California native, but had a near brush with Nebraska. He was recruited by Dr. Osborne to play for the Huskers back in the glory days, and became an All-American, stayed at home, became an All-American and pro football player. Great person, great human being, and really has a great view of how adults and communities can support kids at every stage in their lives. So Tony's an inspirational speaker who I've known for years, and I'm super excited he's going to be able to join us again this year in Nebraska for our ELO and Innovation Invitational. You know, and just again, the macro theme for this, in addition to the things that I mentioned previously, is how do we transition out of a period of both intense need in response to COVID, but strange amount of opportunity associated with some of the various support funding that came down from the federal government. We want to make sure moving forward we have high quality, cost-effective, and locally sustainable after school and summer programs in every community across our state. If we've learned nothing else from the pandemic, we have learned that young people need any place, anytime supports, that the challenges that they're facing are immense, and that the resources in our society are equally immense, but frequently aren't organized around the needs of young people, especially in the out-of-school time hours. So that's our goal, is to bring advocates together to think about how we as communities and as Nebraskans can support the youth in our programs, meet them where they're at with whatever needs they have, and provide the supports that they need to be successful and contributors to a growing Nebraska. So I will pause there and take any questions, or if anyone has any comments or observations, be glad to engage in a back and forth.
Jeff, this is Jan. Can I just jump in and just say Jeff is kind enough, for those of you that are a 21st Century Program Director, and some of you are on this call or may listen to the recording. He has been kind enough to let us have a breakout session where we could pull all of you together, just to give you some updates and that type of thing. So I just wanted to throw that out there so that those of you that are coming to the Innovation Invitational will be looking forward to seeing you there.
No, that's a good point, Jan. We are going to intentionally structure some opportunities throughout the 2 days for these little pull-out meetings, and know that, you know, a lot of you have a ton. I can only imagine all the things that people have going on. So yeah, the 21st Century Directors, I think that'd be a great pull-out meeting. You know, we're going to have some STEM programming opportunities that I think will lend themselves to a pull-out. So yeah, if there are things that you want to co-opt, the fact that we're pulling 300 of our best friends together, and you want to meet with them on a side meeting, feel free to do so. Let us know. We have the whole conference facility reserved, so we can help you make it a productive meeting for, you know, your team's purposes.
Jeff, how appropriate it's going to be? It's our spring break that week, so
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen here. It's really hard. I was thinking it was because I invited my site coordinators, you know, and I also might have a conflict, but is it like, can we kind of do a last minute thing, a last minute registration when we get a little closer? I have, you know, conflict because of the spring break, some other commitment I made.
Sure.
Is that possible? Is that
Sure.
okay if you do a last minute thing, or should we register and pull out? Would that be better?
Right. I mean, for us, the main planning thing will be food, to be quite honest. I mean,
Right.
those of you who do programming, no,
Okay.
everything is, you don't plan. It's the
So
caterer. The caterer tells you.
what's the deadline on that? What's the
That's a
timeline
great
for that?
question. Probably about a week in advance, usually 5
Okay.
days. They want to have that hard number.
Okay.
So
And
yeah.
then is it appropriate? Because had invited my site coordinators. I do have a brand new site coordinator. She kind of expressed some interest, but you know, I don't know that she'd come by herself. Is this appropriate for site coordinators and frontline staff, or is it more just for directors?
Absolutely. I'm really glad you asked that question, Lorna. What we will be doing is to identify some tracks for different levels of staff. We've had some of our partners say they want to bring their whole team. They haven't had an opportunity to come together since Get Connected, whatever, you know, they want to bring, you know, more of their frontline staff as well as site directors. So, you know, I know you guys are traveling from the far corner of the other side of the state, so hard to bring a super big group, but would love to have a new site director. I think that would be really appropriate. There'll be other ones there that they could network with.
Okay, so that's good. So there'll be site coordinators, there'll be directors, there'll be, like you said, frontline staff. Okay, good to know. And a couple weeks out, I mean, I should know better, but just kind of wanted to know. I didn't want to, like you said, take up space and then not be able to come. And of course, weather is always a challenge for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I'm, like I said, really excited about the opportunity to have different level of folks involved. And yeah, I'll throw out a couple of other things. We are going to have some colleagues, from Idaho who will be attending and showing us how they're using their TMC labs in Idaho to support rural workforce development. There are actually 28 TMC labs spread across Idaho, and they are partnering with their Department of Economic Development to use TMCs as a platform to do rural, actually to train high school students to do STEM programming in rural settings as part of a workforce development initiative. So we will have a track on the TMC labs. We're also expanding into New Mexico. Following the conference, we'll have a TMC lab that we'll take there. So we'll have one at the conference that we'll be using for folks to see how other states are approaching, you know, pop-up mobile learning as part of their communities after school programs. So there'll be that. And we're going to do a 2-part series. So a series a day on the pathway to sustainability. So we are starting a Lunch and Learn series next Wednesday with some recorded webinars around sustaining high quality after school programs. And that 4-part series will culminate with 2 workshops that we will be having at the conference around sustainability planning. Again, we really want to make sure as we transition out of the current ESSER and COVID funding relief that we have a plan for sustaining programs across Nebraska.
Jeff, are those webinars open to anyone interested or?
Yeah, I think I'm having a hard time pulling up our website and getting that on the share, but yeah, on our Beyond School Bells website, I'll put that in here. We have information about those webinars.
Do you want me to pull it up? Is it the sustainability?
You can just put it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Lorna, you mentioned weather. That's always a concern of ours this time of year. We were hoping that the January freeze got it out of our system, but chances are there's more bad weather to come. So we'll definitely keep people abreast as that week gets closer. Wish we would have scheduled it for this week. It's beautiful here in Lincoln today, so this would have been a perfect time to do it.
Are there other questions or comments? I know some of you attended last year's Innovation Invitational, and it was really a very interesting event, interesting content, and great chances to connect with people that you work with or people you haven't had the chance to work with. So we're very excited about it.
One of the things I really liked about last year was connecting with people from other states that are working in after school. Usually I have to go to a national setting to do that. And so, we had some great colleagues from other states that were here, and I'm looking forward to talking with the folks from Idaho as well. So I think that that's a really neat piece to highlight about this experience, that you don't have to go to a national conference, but you kind of get to hear from what's happening in other places, not just across Nebraska.
Yeah, Sona, that's a really good point. And, we really like, kind of this cycle of programming, like with the TMC labs. It was something we kind of launched here in Nebraska, went to Idaho. They're kind of doing some innovative stuff with us that we're actually going to borrow and come back to Nebraska, which was kind of our goal, is to create something that would grow as other people are adapting it to their own needs. So yeah, that's I think an exciting part of it. And yeah, I would encourage people to visit our website and check out the last year's Innovation Invitational page. We've posted a lot of the presentations that we had last year. This year, save the date. And if you go into either the QR code or the website, they listed there, you can get the registration information. Yeah, the reason we're doing it this year is we had a good experience last year and want to continue. We think the rhythm with the Get Connected and this worked out really well. I should have said at the beginning, a big piece of what we're doing is focusing on summer. The sequencing for this, for folks to think about summer. I know those of you running programs are already thinking about summer a lot, but it's a great opportunity to pull your team together and maybe get some ideas on some additions you can do around your community summer learning program. So that, will be a track that we, really push in terms of, are there resources available to support summer learning? Are there new partnership opportunities available that you can take advantage of and pilot this summer that can lead into some great year-round opportunities? And then, this is a Beyond School Bells event that we do in partnership with the Department of Education as part of our work helping facilitate the ESSER III relief funds. But it's also a partnership with Nebraska Extension, and saw a bunch of Extension educators have already registered. So great to see good representation there. And the Department of Education's 21st Century Community Learning Center program. So definitely want to encourage, partners within those two organizations, but then others, it's definitely for all Nebraskans. As I said, it's free. So there's no registration. All the meals are covered on us as part of our commitment to pull the field together. So we are super excited about it. We think it'll be something that people will benefit from immensely, and we're very open to working with you. As we were saying, if there are particular pullouts that you want to do, we've got a lot of space there. It's great conference space, so would love to help make this an activity that supports your program as well.
Are there other questions or comments for Jeff? Well, thank you, Jeff, for organizing this fabulous opportunity and your generous contribution of food and all of that make it a special experience with lots of opportunities for interaction. So, and thanks for your time today. We really appreciate it.
No, we're thrilled to be able to do so, and promise it'll be a light, engaging, fun event for you to get a little kick before you start into your March programming.
Well, thank you, and thanks everybody for joining. I wanted to put in a plug for our next Stay Connected webinar. I think Joel is on our webinar today. Joel Bramhall from Crete will be leading the session on the community impact of his after-school program, and give you some great ideas for thinking about how your program positively impacts your community. And then March 7th, we're really excited to have Michael Sibernson, and some of you know him from our Nebraska Blast training days. He is going to talk about the April 8th solar eclipse and share information about how you can prepare your students for that really exciting opportunity. So we're real excited to have Michael connect with you again also. Well, thank you,
So
everybody.
Kim will be driving home from Lincoln that day. So how are we going to listen to Michael? That will be recorded, right? That's spring break.
Yes, we will record it. And I know you guys in Chadron love Michael, so I thought
we love Michael. That's spring break week, though. Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll definitely record it. Thanks, Lorna. Well, thanks everybody, and we'll look forward to seeing you on February 15th. Have a great day. Enjoy this nice weather if you're in our part of the state today.